Mungerstick here with a game featuring the Hellcat in a split Tier 6-7 game on Province. Now, I don't know that I've ever featured the Hellcat, but it is actually still a fun vehicle to play, despite not being but basically a shadow of its former self, where it has received numerous nerfs over the years to make it, well, one, more sluggish, and two, have a little bit worse gun handling on the 90mm, which is specifically, if you notice my ammo, and once you see the actual reload speed, you'll notice I'm running the 76mm, which I actually do on the Hellcat now. I grew tired of the lackluster gun handling on the 90mm, and I only run that on the Jackson at this point. And the lighter 76mm also helps the Hellcat retain some of its former mobility it used to enjoy. Now, of course, the one issue with the 76mm, aside from the obvious less damage, is that it has less penetration, with its AP having the same penetration as the Tier 6 American mediums at 128mm. Now, it has a blazing fast reload, but 128mm is, a little iffy for a tank destroyer at Tier 6, and that's why you see I do carry 15 premium shells. And there's also the notable possibility of running out of ammo, because with the ammo load I've got, and as fast as it fires, you can definitely, and I have multiple times, run out of ammo entirely. So that's why I have a basically 33% premium ammo load, which is quite high for me. I normally only carry between 5 to 10 depending on the vehicle. And as you see, the side of a KV3 here is a 50% pen chance. That's what the orangish yellow indicator means. And basically I have to not hit his track, and I have to not hit an angled portion of his turret. I have to hit it dead on, especially at this range. And I do click over the premium, and he's not moving. I had damaged his track and maybe taken out his engine as well, and somebody else was also helping reset. So when you know that's the case, just keep firing. I didn't see any dirt coming up from behind, so I know he was still tracked. And like I said, he could have also had his engine knocked out. And that OI died so fast that I didn't even get a chance to shoot him. Now, this is a typical province deployment. You get a couple of faster vehicles that make the crossing across the valley to get to the enemy side. And now, normally you'd see at least 4 or 5 from your team make the crossing. And as of now, I got to be careful. It's just myself and the Tier 7 Leo. So we do have to watch what we do. But even game and okay deployment by both teams. I would wish, like I said, I would wish for another at least 1 or 2 to join us on this side. And I go to actually try to link up with the Leo here, being careful to hopefully not get spotted. He's already taken damage, so he needs to be careful. The AMX-12T across is firing at him, and that was absolutely a hit. And that one fell short, but this is how to play Province. I know some people don't like this map, but I actually enjoy it quite a lot. Its main thing is that the light tanks, they only have a few spots to go, but they can still be pretty effective in those spots. Like the 12T, he went up to the very typical, location on that side, and our 12T is at a okay spot, a little bit unusual. Now I'm going to get detected here by the Type 64, but I don't really have any concern with this. He's going to get shot at by my teammates, and I'm actually going to just keep driving so that his teammates don't have a chance to help him. And I have DPM that he's not expecting. And this is something I have noticed while I run the 76mm on the Hellcat. People do not expect it at all. They'll take a hit, and they don't think, I don't think it even registers with them that they took less damage than normal. And they'll actually charge me while I'm, able to quickly reload. This has a 2.7 second reload with my current setup. And as you see, like this IS, he's thinking, well, I got hit, I can take another one. No, it's like I'm not going to stop firing. And that's a huge benefit. You catch somebody out of position and in the open, like that IS-2, he could have gotten into cover. But you can almost suspect that they're thinking, okay, a Hellcat hit me. I have like 7 seconds before he's able to hit me again. And in that 7 seconds, I've actually shot 2 or 3 more times. Because most people just flat out don't expect it. And it does make the Hellcat actually kind of fun, a little more fast paced. And because the gun's lighter, it does actually retain a little more mobility, like I had said earlier. So you can play it a little more like you used to. Because Hellcats used to be very aggressive. They didn't just camp at the back and snipe from long range. They most of the time Hellcats were all over the map. And that's something that's sorely missing in the modern day, at least for World of Tanks, the current Hellcat. Now, the Super Hellcat Premium actually has some of that because it has increased mobility, but unfortunately at Tier 7, there's a number of issues for a Hellcat at Tier 7. But for me, this setup actually works really well. But now you see, I am down to 10 shots. I mentioned that towards the beginning. Ammo is an issue with this setup. I really, really wish that they'd give 10 more rounds. Because I don't carry any HE, and I would actually like to carry at least a few. And it'd be nice to have about 5 or 6 more AP and maybe 1 or 2 more premium. And I think that would be actually quite nice if they ever looked into it. But I'm probably the only oddball that runs this setup. But if they would ever look into it, some of the alternate gun choices on tanks are actually very viable. And the Hellcat's one of them. I'm not going to absolutely recommend this for everybody, but there are reasons to run it. Just trying to see if I can snag one more shot onto that AMX, but I've got to be careful. I'm only down to 6 shots. And this is a tie game. So despite what I've done so far, despite all of it, it's a tie game. And you have to consider, especially when games get close like this, you have to consider your teammates. What have they done so far? The Scorpion and the Challenger, they may be firing nonstop. They may have actually racked up damage, but they have not moved. Neither one of them. They have went to that position. They're at the corner of CD78, and they have never moved. Neither of them. So I don't know how proactive they're going to be. And there are some people who, as long as you give them targets, they'll shoot, they'll rack up damage, they'll help you. But if they aren't proactive, which these two haven't proven to be, if they're not proactive, you may not get much help when you need it. I took a risk there. It was a risk that I felt was kind of worth it, and I'm only backing off because I don't know where the T-34-85M is. And unfortunately, the T-25-2 goes down. That was my last premium shell. I'm taking the risk at this point. And the risk was rewarded. Got rid of that. Now the T-34-85M. Where is he? How much health does he have left? I only have 1 shell left. So now I have to spot. And I'm not going to sit up there where I've been spotted multiple times. They're going to think that I'm going to stay there. Instead, I'm actually going to move and try to help out over here. I see that the T-34-1, the Chinese Tier 7 medium, he is a one-shot kill. Now, I would hope our Panther, who has 33% health, I would hope that he could actually finish that guy off, because he can penetrate the T-34-1, no problem, take him out, and then we're down to 1 enemy tank who's been sniping. So maybe not, maybe him. He's not the most proactive. And that's the only 2 tanks left, and then we have the 1 tank destroyer. And I haven't seen him. So I knock out the T-34-1. So where's the Super Hellcat? There's one question. He's never been spotted. The T-34-85M has been spotted, and I'm going to try to proxy him here. And I can't spot him. This is where he was. So he has backed off. And there I'm telling my teammate that I'm out of ammo. But I can still spot. There's the Super Hellcat. He made a move, and now he's paying for it. He should die here because his tracks are knocked out and he's under fire. Okay, now one tank left. Now with the Super Hellcat pushing up to try to get eyes on the base there, where did the T-3485M go? That's the question. Now, did he push down, or I should say, did he push northward, thinking that he was going to go for me when I was spotted at C2? That's option one. Option two is that he's backed off all the way to K2, and he's going to sit there, not do anything, and the only thing he's going to do is if I go charge him, he'll shoot at me. That's it. I'm thinking at this point, right now, live in game, I'm thinking he's back there at K2. He may have moved northward, but he's not presenting himself. If he had moved north, the Scorpion could possibly get eyes on him if the Scorpion's running binoculars. If he's moving around back there at the back line, and if he comes out, I'll spot him. So we're in pretty good shape. 2 people on capture. This is almost a 100% guaranteed win at this point. T-3485M just decided not to reset cap and backed off all the way, I think. But that is a win. Win by capture. And did end up with an ace with no ammo left, and I had dealt just over 2,000 damage with 700 spotting basically for a total of 1,117 base experience. And the Scorpion, despite sitting there, did have a pretty heavy damage game. But I don't know where that T-3045M went. I still don't. But it was a good game, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.